Good Sunday afternoon to you all. My name is Ryan. I'm with Michigan Storm Chasers. We have a forecast update to go over with you guys. We're going to talk about the upcoming couple of days of rain that's expected, much needed rain at that. We are dry and in drought conditions across the state. We've been talking about this for a while. This rain should definitely help make a dent into the drought conditions, but I don't think it'll take it all away, but it'll definitely help and we'll take anything we can get. So this video is going to focus between now and Wednesday on your rain totals. We'll have a separate video out after this one, probably tonight, if not tomorrow morning, talking about your election day forecast, your rain forecast, temperatures, all that information that you're going to want to know what times are best to stand in line to vote. We'll have you guys covered. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow morning if I had to guess. Okay. This video, though, focusing on the rain potential, starting with the WPC guidance here, we do have a marginal and a slight risk of excessive rainfall in effect for your Monday for northern lower Michigan, as well as portions of the eastern UP and even southwest lower Michigan there in green. Now, the slight risk is your highest 15% risk of excessive rainfall, and then the marginal is a 5%. So it's a pretty low risk, nothing too major, but we do have really dry soils. So we're looking at potential for runoff as rain could fall moderate to heavy at times. That could have trouble absorbing into dry ground and it could run off. So, technically speaking, not a huge river flooding threat here, but definitely an urban and perhaps runoff type of flooding threat developing for northern lower Michigan. Now, looking at the future for the forecast here, we're going to look at rain moving into the UP and northern lower right now as of 10:30 a.m. Sunday morning. That's the time it's currently at. You're probably watching this later toward noon or afternoon, so you're probably getting rain if you're up there. Now, hour by hour here, here's noon, looking at rain overspreading the northern lower Michigan and even western Michigan by roughly 4 to 5 p.m. So by the time the Lions game comes on the TV in West Michigan, it should start to rain or be about to start to rain there as it get into the evening hours. Now, sunset tonight's at 5:30, so it'll start right around sunset. Looking at the future forecast, though, looking into the evening, into the overnight hours, the entire state basically has a chance of rain tonight. The ones that don't have the ones that have the least amount of chance is going to be south and east lower Michigan. I'll show you why here in a second. But notice how most of this rain stays to the north of I-96, north of I-94. But then we get into the overnight into early Monday morning. We have rain redeveloping to the south. So the UP is dry at this point. This is Monday at 8 a.m. UP is dry, but we have a pretty good band of rain over lower Michigan here at 8 a.m. Moving into Monday at about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, that rain continues to move northward. It leaves South Michigan dry as well as the UP dry. Then as we get toward Monday night, more rain comes up from the south and west. We could have showers, and then heavier rain arrives overnight into Tuesday morning. Again, for pretty much the same areas, northern lower Michigan, the UP has scattered showers, but south and east Michigan down toward Detroit, it doesn't really get much at all. This model goes out to Tuesday, 8 a.m. That's where it stops, 48 hours. Now, if we go ahead and flip on our precipitation accumulation, so total rainfall totals, according to the model, we're seeing the heaviest amounts up there in northern and central lower Michigan. We could get 1 to 2 inches of rain. But if you live down towards, say, Detroit, Macomb County, Port Huron, you're getting very little, if any, rain at all. We're going to have just, sprinkles and showers at times, but it's not going to accumulate like it is going to be further north. So the UP here between about a half inch and an inch, and this model says up toward Ludington, up through about Alpena, there's a swath about 1 to 2 inches of rain that's much needed and much welcomed up there. But again, south and east Michigan, not going to get too much in the way of accumulating rain. Showers at times, yes. Accumulating rain, heavy rain, no. That's going to stay to the north. So that is your forecast through Tuesday morning. The GFS does go through a little bit further out. So we're going to look at the GFS here. Similar picture here. Rain starts tonight. Really today, really for the UP right now, it's raining up there, but it's going to move into western lower Michigan for the rest of us here as we get towards sunset tonight. And that's going to continue to rain off and on through your Wednesday here. Here's Tuesday morning. Then here is your Wednesday. And finally, by the time Wednesday afternoon rolls around, we're pushing that rain off to the east of us. So total precipitation accumulation on the GFS here, it is basically from the UP down to about Grand Rapids up through about West Branch. You're getting 1 to 2 plus inches of rain. Could see isolated 3 inches in spots. Definitely a possibility, but then south and east Michigan, still only a few tenths there expected for your southeast zone. So as a result, here's our forecast. We went pretty general with this, nothing too specific. South and east Michigan there in the brighter green color, less than 1 inch. Probably going to be a lot less than that for most of you towards like Monroe, Detroit, closer to Lake Erie, Ontario. Probably going to get less than probably a tenth or two of inch, or less than a tenth or two of rain. Dark green area from Battle Creek up to Bad Axe, we're looking at roughly about a ½ inch to about an inch and a half. Probably going to be on the lower side of things, honestly. When we get up to that yellow and orange zone, that's when we're looking at the inch to 2 inch plus range. And the best chance for anything over 2 inches would be in the orange zone from Ludington up through about the Gaylord, Traverse City area, perhaps extending further east toward Alpena. So we'll keep an eye on that. But overall confidence is highest in the orange zone further to the west and to the north. So with that being said, like I said, the overall WPC outlook does include those areas in a excessive rainfall outlook for a marginal and slight risk. Don't be shocked if you see some ponding or some flooding, but rivers will probably stay within their banks. This is going to be mainly just a flash flood runoff type of things where it can't absorb into the ground. So you're going to have a lot of water running. And also with any storm drains that are clogged from leaves, that could also play a factor as well. Overall, that's your forecast. We'll have a separate video out for your election day forecast. Have the best times to stand in the line, rain, all that jazz. We'll have you guys covered tomorrow. We'll go ahead and say tomorrow morning we'll have that video out for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Before I end the video, though, I want to give 2 shout outs. Okay. Number one, I want to give a shout out to our own merch store. For some reason, I think this gets lost in translation. A lot of you guys message us, hey, if you guys had merch, I'd buy. We've had merch for over a year. So I'm wearing our shirt right now. This is our classic logo, and it comes in all sorts of colors. We sell it on a website called helicity.co. It's right there on the screen on the little banner there below the window. It's helicity.co. That's our website. Now, if you go to the website, there's a tab for Michigan Storm Chasers. You click that, and there's all of our merch. We have hoodies, we got shirts, we have zip-ups, we have mugs, we have drinking bottles, we have stickers, we have pins, blankets. There's actually a teddy bear, too, with an MSC shirt on it. So feel free to go check it out. Completely optional, but it's just one way you can do. It's just one way you can support the page, support what we do here. We do sell everything at pretty much very minimal profit for us. So we don't get much. We do get a little bit of kickback when you do buy. Second shout out of the day goes to our sponsor, as always, Katz Roofing and Siding. Thank you, Katz, for sponsoring the video. They do roofing, siding, windows, gutters in South Central Michigan. So they're based out of Lansing and Battle Creek areas, but they do cover a large portion of South Central Michigan. So if you need them for any home improvement needs, feel free to give them a call, 517-485-9886. Be sure to tell them that MSC sent you. They would appreciate that, as would we. With that being said, I'm going to pop out of here. I'll catch you guys later and tomorrow morning for your election day forecast.